You called them maybe about the car at first. Yeah. But then you kept talking.
What up, y'all?
And how did that
This is your
conversation
boy
go?
Gerald.
We were supposed to go
It
out to
is
drinks. We were supposed to meet up. We never.
Monday, the 28th
Okay, now we're getting look.
of September,
We're here. You don't come all the way
2015.
to fraternity court to
How
come up in here
is
and tell a
everybody
lie.
doing?
Because at the end of the day, the DNA is going to show whether you're
So, last night we had a once-in-a-lifetime event. We had a solar eclipse in conjunction with the blood moon. That's not going to occur for another 400 years. So I hope last night, first of all, let me back everything up. How was your weekend? How was it? I hope it was peaceful. I hope that whatever that you had going on inside, you were able to accomplish it. Now you are stepping into your new week. And I'm putting this out for somebody. I believe last night was very significant on many levels. For one, I believe that that was a divine sign of a new chapter, a new season, and an awakening. A, I would say a call to your heart, to your spirit. Now is the time that you claim you. Now, first and foremost, I'm very humbled that I get the correspondence, the interactions when they come. And just as I say in each video, until he tells me not to, I'm going to pray on your behalf because I know that somebody prayed for me. You might be going through something right now and you feel that your back is proverbially on the wall and you're frustrated. You won disappointment from doing something impulsive. I'm putting this out and I'm asking you. You wanted your validation? Well, you got it right here. I got goosebumps right now, y'all, because I know somebody needs to hear this. What you feeling in your spirit right now, that anxiety, that it's not frustration. That's your spirit trying to realign your feet to point you in the direction that has your legacy and destiny connected to it. So now, no more running. No more running from yourself. You've already seen the things that you needed to see. May it have been peaceful or may it have been unpleasant. You have seen the signs. I keep trying to tell y'all, you're not the one that's crazy. But what's being required is for you to go within yourself. Now is the time that you trust that discernment. I know right now there's somebody that you're at the point where you actually have said in your mind or to anybody that will lend a lending ear that you don't want love. You've given up on it. You have somehow convinced yourself that there is a thin line between intimacy and feeling the physical action that we know is a sexual act. And you're like, I'm cool with that. What I don't know won't hurt. Why are you fooling yourself? If it didn't hurt, you wouldn't feel it. So, I'm asking you, now's the time that you connect with that little boy and that little girl that's inside you that has been screaming for years for you to take heed. Listen, being on this planet is not easy. But what I've come to learn, what is even more difficult, is trying to understand your path, understanding your purpose, understanding you. So some of you have in your mind made a career out of running away from you. You have, once again, convinced yourself that, hey, if I have the blinders on, whatever comes, as long as I don't see it, I'll be okay. Only to pick up the pieces time and time again. You're not supposed to go through that. That's not why you're here. Your role is not to play the role of the victim. Your role is to be the victor. And you wonder, well, how can I be the victor, Gerald, when my emotions has got me up and down? I can't trust nobody. Every time I turn around, I always have a tough break. Do you see the correlation in that? These are the reflections of your choices. These are the choices that are spawned but not knowing you. That's why I convey to each and every one of you, take the stopwatch out of your life and embrace it. If it's divinely meant for you to have, why wouldn't it come to pass? But see, society that will never claim your life, because in society's archetype, you are nothing but a routing number and numerals. That's why you got that social. So it's very imperative that you take stock in your life. I'm saying this because I know somebody needed validation right now. You're about to make a decision on things still unseen. I'm trying to save you time, money, and emotion. Why won't you listen to what's inside? I'll tell you why you won't listen. It's because you're afraid. You're afraid because if you look yourself in the mirror, you're not going to like what you see. But if you were to ground your feet right now and look a little deeper, you will see not only someone that is beautiful, but priceless. Why do you think I always convey? See your worth. Love yourself more. I ain't got to tell you, there are millions of examples of what not to do. We know it as the news. We know it as our environment. Don't you think you're worth it? I do. I do. But you've got to be honest with yourself. Let me throw this disclaimer. The noise you hear in the background are the jets flying. Just so happened the flight plan the flight pattern happens to be over where I reside. But that's okay because the devil's a liar, and I know that this message right now of urgency is for someone. Someone that, see, you're kidding yourself. You've actually spoken in prayer for God to show you a sign. You've had people that have told you things through serendipitous interactions. I keep trying to convey to y'all, he's a custom tailored God. And if you didn't matter, why you think you see and hear the things you do is meant for you to validate your existence. So let's turn a corner. I keep trying to tell you that your circle, you have to take stock in it, but you must always fortify your boundaries, even to the people that you are connected to through blood and bone, your family members. You must have that in place. The only way that you can fortify those boundaries is you have to do the work to love yourself more. But how can you love yourself more if you won't be honest with yourself? You basing your logic off of what they tell you. But if you take a step back, you also notice this. The commonality is y'all all share the same mindset. Your girlfriend's going through something. The dude you're seeing is going through something. The people that you are related to are going through something. What is a tree that is bent? How long you think them roots going to run deep? Eventually, the weight of that tree will break it. And I believe deep down inside that some of you right now, that's why you have that unconditional love affair with that bottle. Oh yeah, I'm talking to somebody. You've got that unconditional bond with your sexuality. And soon as someone gets close or tries to love you more, to show you, hey, there's more to you than what is found here, what do? You run. You try to deflect it. Oh, you don't know me like that. Who are you to tell me? But you go off of a person's actions, not what comes out of their mouth. And you will see a pattern there. A pattern of brokenness, of despair, of abandonment, and more importantly, no commitment to you. So I'm asking you today, y'all, because I love each and every one of you, from one spiritual brother to the next. See, I can't do your work, but I can point something out because I done been there. I'm on my walk. I'm still been on. I started my walk October 18th, 2011. That's how you know that your life has a special purpose, because you are striving to be the best you. Why you think I keep saying you'll never find happiness in a stolen moment? Somebody actually told me, like, oh, why you hating on, and what I do is my business. You're right, it is your business. But if your business is on the front page, that's no different than watching a train come barreling down the track when you know that there's no stop. It ain't going to turn out the way you think it is. And the question is, Why? So let's peel that onion back, y'all. When you need to have that, I tell everybody all the time, the same energy that it takes to do it is going to be the same energy needed to get you through it. But there's no resolution when you're running from you. Open your eyes. Look at the people that you're connected to or have been blessed to see their examples. Do you want to end up with the same fate as that woman that has lost everything? Or that homeless guy that sat on that park bench because he had nowhere else to go? Let me explain something to you. See, I'm a firm believer that before any means of disappointment are bestowed on our lives, there are always precursors, or we know them as red flags. That's God once again saying, hey, yes, you got free will. Yes, you have to make that choice. But I love you so much. I'm giving you this opportunity to see it. Because you can't see the unseen. You can't see what's coming around that corner. Some of you already know what I'm talking about. You see him today, gone tomorrow. So I would like to believe this. I believe last night was a spiritual sign for everybody. Not everybody gonna see it for what it is, but I believe God is tired. And when God gets tired, he gets out the way. And what's unfortunate, we've allowed our fear, our pride, and our ego to set us up for inevitable pain. These are our lessons, y'all. Some may know it as a spiritual season or a spiritual storm. But even when you are in your valley, as I always try to convey to y'all, guess what? Yes, you may be feeling by yourself. The reason why you're by yourself is to break you away from those who had no right to hear you breathe. It's for you to finally ground your feet and see where your life is. To break off those rough edges, because when you learn those lessons, God's got something for you on the backside when you deem it worthy. Why do you think I always say, speak your truth, claim your life back? Because fear and ego are only illusions and distractions. These are words and actions still left unchallenged. And you know what's on the other side of that fear? Your blessings. For some of you that I can't stress this any more humbly than I can. Because I got a feeling somebody about to make a decision that is going to alter your life for a while. Oh, I'm going to pray for you. But you're still not getting it. You still think you got it under control. But if you got it under control, why are you holding on to that emotional backpack? Don't you realize those things that are found inside that are going to weigh you down? And until you decide to have the courage to take accountability for your life and look at everything that you compartmentalize, you can't go forward. You're delaying the other side of your life. My kings and my queens, I convey this out of love. If you are under the age of 35, you do not know who you are. I know somebody right now, so I'm 21, I'm grown, and you don't know what you're talking about, but I guarantee this. I guarantee you're going to make 1,000 decisions that you shouldn't have, and it's going to cost you. And until you decide to go within inside you, you're not going to get it. In other words, what I'm telling you is this. Society's been so strategic in conveying the message because, let's be real. The media systematically puts messages out for those people that have impressionable minds. So once again, if you're not grounded, whatever sounds good, you're gonna like fish to fish bait. And they do that systematically because they need certain people to play certain positions in the economic structure. I know that needed to go out to somebody. You need to go back to school, go back to school. You don't need anybody's permission. It's your life. How much do you, unless you're a glutton for punishment. And this brings me back to what I wanted to say. Because, see, society is convinced a lot of you queens to embrace that Walt Disney fairy tale mindset. But if even with what they put out, you will always find at least 3 messages in anything that is put out there. Anything. I don't care what movie it was. You will find 3 messages in those. Because they're hidden in plain sight. But it seems like now more than ever, they want you, my queens, to embrace the lady and the tramp mindset. They want you to burn through your life being very nomadic without any accountability. To have a mindset that one day my prince will come. I keep trying to tell you, your prince ain't coming until you do the work first. And the work required is for you to get to know you. Why you think your libido is through the roof? Why you think those people, I ain't gotta tell you, look at your cell phone. I guarantee you might find maybe one. I'll lean forward. I'll say maybe 3 people that genuinely have your best interests. See, those people ain't checking for this. Those people are checking for this. But what they're not going to do is watch you kill yourself. This is the epitome of what free will is about. But see, you got people out there that spew so many lies. And say, like, for example, you hear this, all men are dogs. Okay, if all men are dogs, we attract what we are. So if that is what you're seeing, Why aren't you attracting you? What you put out is what you get out. What you get. Energy out is energy received. Another one. I'm Miss Independent. You're not independent. There's a difference between being independent and being responsible. See, if you being independent, by you thinking you're independent, guess what? You're going to depend on somebody to live on this planet. So you're not independent. Responsible, that's different. If you're an adult, you're supposed to act like an adult. And lastly, I don't need a man. When are you going to stop lying to yourself? Don't you realize, my king or queen, the person that is going to be in your life, that has a key to the other half of your life, will be spiritually driven. That means they put God first in everything they do. That's why they speak their truth. You may look at them, oh, they're boring. Why? Because they're not kicking your ass? Because why they're not exploiting you? Got you doing things for change? But guess what? They'll never give you a ring either. And yes, I know there'll be some that will say, well, that's not true, Gerald. I got married to this person and we were together less than a year. But I'm going to tell you what, if God wasn't in it, guess what? You are already setting up your demise because it wasn't blessed. The sooner you come to terms with it, the sooner you can change. Because everybody has the ability to change. Just like you hear this, all people cheat. Once a cheater, always cheat. That's not true. That's not true. You know why a person cheats? Because they've got infidelity inside them. They got that demon inside them. That's why you have that thirst. That's why you have that urge to quench something that will never go away. Why? Because the ultimate ending of that is to destroy your life. That's the goal. So guess what? Devil sitting in the cut, and you see, I told you they weren't worthy. Yeah, I told you that. Shoot, all I had to do was give them what they wanted, not what they needed. Like love, respect, compassion, empathy, kindness, the things that enrich your life. But what you won't find in that is fear. Now, I keep telling you, there's a difference between religious folk and spiritual folk. Religious folk, they in that church. They're in the church. They know every verse. They're the most illustrated. And they're doing the most dirt. Not all, but some. And the moment that you try to do something for yourself, they have the audacity to take scripture and project it on you so you will feel a certain kind of way. I know I'm talking to somebody. If that's you, guess what? You're under spiritual attack. And that person that is walking with you is trying to not only destroy your mind, they've been working on your body, because that's why you only see them at night. That's why you only see them behind closed doors. But more importantly, the payoff is they want to destroy that spirit. Because see, they've already made a conscious decision that they're not going to see their worth. And misery loves company. That's why I keep trying to let you know, my queens, you will not find the happiness that you need by running away from you. You delay your happiness. Because you've got to have courage to look at the things that matter. Everything that you divinely need is found inside you. It was already given to you the moment you took your first breath. You're not going to find that on your back. You're not going to find that by telling that lie to that next person that don't know you. But what's so funny about it is it's alluring. But what you don't realize, just as the fact that they don't know you, you don't know them. And you don't know what are in the hearts and the minds of people. You don't know that you may be the one, you may be that person that reminds them of someone else. And the moment that you decide to ground your feet may be the proverbial straw, and that person will do something that will forever leave a scar. I ain't got to tell you that. I ain't got to tell you. Look at that bruise that's on your thigh. How about that bruise that's on your heart? And the funny thing about it is, figurative, if you look a little deeper, you'll come to understand why you can't get the answers that you've longed for from the people that should protect you, like your family members. You got to understand something, y'all. The way you think is directly correlated to the people that you spend the most time with. So let's flip it. My queens, your behavior patterns is a direct correlation to your father. So if somebody's saying, well, guess what, Gerald? That's not true because my dad wasn't in my life. Yeah, it was. That's the unknown anomaly. Why? Why you think you're going through all the guys you've been through? Because you convinced yourself there was a void in your heart with the shape of your daddy on it that you said, well, you know what? He didn't do his part, so I'm going to have a archetype of what the perfect man is. The perfect man is going to be a spiritual one. Every desire, every craving, he will supply. But why Mr. Wrong can't do that? Why? Because he got a knot in his pocket that can choke a horse? Because he got flash? Because he lives in a place that when you walk in, you just are immersed in it, and you're like, I wish this could be my reality. You don't even realize that could be your hell. But what you really don't realize is this. They had it before you, and they're going to have it after you. And if your worth and self-respect is not in the midst of that, you're going to suffer. You're going to suffer. So let's go back to what I had to say in the beginning of this video. And I hope that you guys take heed. I really believe last night, I make a point that when I drive, I start my day and end my day in prayer. And throughout my day, I always speak to my angels. Yes, angels are real, so are demons. And I made a specific point last night to pray for every person that heard not only my voice, but felt my energy in your heart. Because I really believe that this is a new chapter in your life. This is a new cycle in your life. This is an opportunity to unlearn the things that have held you back. This is the opportunity to undo the things that you have done. Why do you think you can't go to sleep at night? Because you got secrets. And you know what secrets are? Those are just unreleased or unclaimed truth. Because it takes courage to speak your truth. And that's what the foundation of integrity is all about, ain't it? It is imperative that you be the best you. I got this feeling right now somebody is watching this video and you having turmoil with your work situation, or your environment is very toxic. I'm going to tell you what you do with that. And for anybody on that matter, if you're going through something, I need you to take $2, go to your local store, and buy some white sage. Once you get that sage, I need you to take just a handful. I need you to burn it. I need you to burn that. Cedar's good too. The reason that you're burning it is protection for your spirit. So anything that is not intended for your life, anything that may have been spoken unjustly, because I know there's some people right now, you've had a lot of unjust activities going on. Somebody's going through a financial loss right now that's unsuspected. You may have gotten it in the mail. I feel you. Let me tell you something. This is setting you up for a new cycle in your life. Now is the time I need you to dig deep and tell yourself you love you more. I need you to be honest with yourself to see your worth and do it. Stick to the commitment. See, that's the problem with us as people. We look for commitment, but we don't give it. But what's funny about it, figuratively, is it is returned. Oh yes, my queen, you can attract the best. You can get the best of them, but they don't stick around. They don't stick around because what you don't realize is they don't see your worth. They just see you as entertainment. So how many tears do you, I got a feeling somebody's eyes are welting up right now. I know, sweetie, it's going to be all right. It's time to free yourself from that pain. It's time to free yourself from that ego. Your ego is what forged your reality as you know it. But guess what? You can turn that around. And I'm going to tell you what, the devil going to throw the kitchen sink at you too. Because the moment that you decide to take that first foot and step out, your faith, oh, your environment is going to feel that. When's the last time you took your cell phone and had that honest conversation? You look at that cell phone, you say, you know what? You go down there each and every contact and ask yourself honestly, can I grow with this person? Can I honestly grow with this person? And you already know. Just like you already knew the moment they came into your life that you want to sleep with them too. You need to do the same thing with your social connections. If your social connections, you spend more time investing in that than investing in you, you're being robbed. You're holding your emotions at gunpoint. You're ransoming your body for a price that can't be paid. So lastly, this is a new cycle. This is a new chapter in your life. I need you to dig deep. I need you to be honest with yourself. Some of y'all can't do that. Some of y'all have an unconditional love affair with your denial. That why you think you got that judging spirit, that judging heart? Because you don't want to see the truth. And if you don't want to see the truth, you can't speak it. I say this out of love, y'all. I'm trying to save somebody a whole lot of undue pain. Aren't you tired of crying? And here's the thing about it. You cry for them, but you don't cry for you. I know I'm talking to somebody. You don't want to take accountability for it. See, that's the thing. You can't atone for your actions until you take accountability for them. But more importantly, that's why you don't have no empathy. You don't have no remorse. And who winning? The devil is. Because he's thinking, yeah, keep on going. Take that next step. You don't know, but right around the corner, they'll be putting you in a coffin. You know how y'all like to say that, put them in a coffin? How redundant is, how stupid is that? My kings and queens, if you're going through a stronghold right now, now's the time to have that conversation with him. Why won't you? Because you were promiscuous. Do you realize that now the average sexual encounters, the average now between 16 and 45 is 70 partners. So guess what? That's 70 spirits. Because see, when you consummate it, their spirit entered you and your spirit entered them. That's why some of y'all are going through this right now. You in a relationship with them, but you thinking about them. You're saying, if I could only have just a moment, just to see him again, the things I would say. Why is it that your conversations in your mind don't match the conversations that are needed for your heart? Why is that? And what is that mind, body, spirit? Guess what? It's your feet. So your feet ain't moving because ain't nobody keeping you from you but you. Is that bond with her worth it? You chasing after her because of what she looked like. Come on, homie. It's time to grow up. Even a flower, when it blooms, looks good, but guess what happens when it wilts? I know I'm talking to somebody. To truly be free, you can't live in fear. You have no secrets. None. None. So you got to atone for those. Yeah, that one. I know somebody right now, you're saying, well, I can't do that because they're married. Why you there? Why you there? Don't you see the correlation? You can't get married to someone when you are messed. You can, but guess what? You're setting yourself up to lose paper in the end. And see, that's the problem with some of us too. Queens, y'all do this all the time. You will go into a relationship with an agenda. You don't even love that guy. You love what he has. And you play that part. You play that part like the best of them. But guess what? Little do you know, he's playing a role too. He's already calculated how much it's going to cost him and what he's not willing to lose. Why do you think you're fighting so much? He's supposed to be your best friend, and you're supposed to be his rock. But how can you be his rock when you don't even know you? Oh, yeah, y'all swinging off the chandeliers. And ain't nothing wrong with swinging off the chandeliers if that's your husband. You're doing grown folks stuff. That's grown folks stuff. Because guess what? He's with her, she's with him. The bind is by love, and God's in front of it. So all he's going to do is cultivate what is there. That is being yoked. Why do you think that people, I know somebody's seen this, and I'm gonna leave it alone. You see somebody burning through their life. Every time you turn around, there's somebody different. And then, lo and behold, they think they found the one. Now, mind you, God's not in it because there's an agenda there. And you know what happens? They won't have kids. Mm-mm. That union is not blessed. And then guess what? When the division happens, whenever, because usually it happens is when you get tired of being tired, or they've exploited you so much that you think you have nothing left, but little do you know, you just haven't reached your breaking point. Because when you get your breaking point, guess what? That's when you stand up and you claim you. At what expense? They go their way, you go yours. And once again, God is right there saying, be still. I need you to take reflection on where you've been so you can gain the wisdom and the insight of your experiences. Because if you don't gain the wisdom and insight that has been shown from your physical placement in that, you know what you're going to do? You're going to repeat it, and it's going to be worse. I ain't got to tell y'all. Look at your parents. I know that need to go out to somebody. On relationship number 5. So you're going to tell me all those people that were there, they were all different? No. Because see, daddy got a preference. Mama got a thing. But the commonality, you're connected to them. Commonality is you look deeper. Look deeper. You'll see the connection of why they're there. It'll scream at you why they're there. We have free will, y'all. But what is free will if you won't claim your life? What is free will if you don't choose to love yourself? If you don't take care of you, you can't expect your environment to take care of you. It'll only deplete you. Because what'll happen is, like so many people, my queens, you need to stop running from yourself. You know, society used to make a mockery about it and say, oh, the runaway bride. But little do you realize, before she was a runaway bride, she was running from herself since she was a little girl. Nobody decided to come into her life and say, hey, you need to stop what you're doing. You need to slow your little fast tail down. And setback after setback after setback, still didn't want to hear it. And then you wonder why they're laying in a coffin now. You already saw it. You already saw it. That ain't got to be your fate. It don't have to. So why won't you love you? You know, like they say, you can fool some of the people some of the time. But some of y'all been fooling yourself far too long. When you decide to get your life back, that means it's like depending on your next breath. You will do what you need to do. Just make sure you haven't burned 40 years of your life. And for those who have done that, hey, I told you. You're looking at a man that suffered from low self-esteem for almost 30 years of his life. See, Gerald wasn't loving Gerald. But I thank God every day, because every day it's a new day. Which is kind of unfortunate, though, on one regard, because guess what? But I think this needs to go out to somebody, too, and I'm going to wrap this up. Do not worry about the people behind you, the people that mistreated you, the people that did not see your worth. Don't worry about that. I still need you to forgive them, and I need you, you need to forgive them. Don't mean you got to forget, but forgive them. Because what will happen in the intended time and moment, you're going to see him again. You're going to see him again. And you'll come to understand why you were divided from them from the beginning. It wasn't because God did not love you. God was protecting you. I know that needs to go out to somebody. Because what was about to occur was they were getting ready to go through their spiritual storm. And there was going to be a lot of disappointment and pain. And because your heart was pure, it was pure. Because you think about them right now. What God was really doing was sparing you from witnessing that. So he had to get you out of there. Because there's going to be a lot of unpleasant things. And yes, if there's someone in their life, guess what? That's their lesson. And they will come to understand that you were their blessing. So I need you to take stock in your life, take accountability for your life, love yourself more, ground your feet, and speak your truth. Because this is a new season. You got to do your work, y'all. So I hope that whoever this video goes out to, just know God loves you. You know I do too. That's why I pray for you. But now, it's time to step through that fear. Claim your life and watch what God shows you. You ain't even seen happiness yet. You're going to start to get into a season, you're going to be thinking like, what? You're going to be mad at yourself for one reason, because you're going to be like, if I only knew what I knew now, then I would have done this sooner. But what you don't fail to realize is, see, God couldn't reveal that to you because he knew that you were going to squander it. He wanted to make sure that it was concrete. Come on now. Why do you think they say what don't kill you make you stronger? Because it's blessed. God's praying for you. You know I am. I see your worth. And for that, you guys don't realize how priceless and beautiful you guys are. Time for you to start looking in the mirror. Maybe it's time for some of you to take all that stuff off. You know, Queen, I got this feeling somebody is doing extra to feel validated. Queen, you need to ground your feet. Take that garbage off. Yeah, I said it. And look within. When you decide to do that, not only will you see how beautiful you naturally are, but your paper gonna stack up too. I think that had to go out to somebody. All right, and for that, it helps me discern mine. You guys just walked in through that spiritual door. It's a new chapter of your life. Time to claim it. Be blessed.